It is everywhere and in everything. One plastic product that most people are familiar with is the plastic bottle. However, this product hides a plethora of surprises. For example, did you know that each year in America we use 50 billion single-use plastic bottles? On top of that, 80% of those bottles will end up in landfills where they will be left to pollute and contaminate our freshwater sources, according to MSLK's watershed case study. Therefore, the more water bottles we use, the less clean drinking water we will have. Seems like a broken system, right? My topic today is single-use plastic bottles. More specifically, I will be arguing that single-use plastic bottles should be banned in America. Furthermore, I am qualified to discuss this topic because of the extensive research that I've done in preparation for today. I will be talking about 3 main points concerning plastic bottles and why they should be banned. First, I will discuss the main problem that surrounds the use of plastic bottles. In my second point, I will discuss the causes of this problem. And third and lastly, I will discuss some of the solutions to this problem. To begin, let's talk about how single-use plastic bottles create a problem for America. My first main point is the central problem that is created by single-use plastic bottles. The central problem is that plastic bottles are detrimental to the environment. Plastic, like all other products, creates waste. Waste is harmful for the environment for obvious reasons, but plastic bottles specifically are especially bad and dangerous for pollution. Due to the lightweight nature of plastic bottles, it is considerably easy for them to end up in water systems and float out into the ocean. Because of this, plastic bottles and other plastic materials have created what is known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. In a 2018 article published by LeBreton, Slatt, Ferrari, St. Rose, Aitken, Marthouse, Hashbin, Consolo, Schwartz, Levevier, Noble, Doublejack, Morale, Schoenig Argent, Brambini, and Rissier in scientific reports journals, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is currently 79,000 tons of plastic, covering an area of 1.6 million square kilometers, or 617,000 square miles. That is 79,000 tons of plastic that is left to pollute the ocean for the foreseeable future. One aspect of plastic bottle pollution that most people are not aware of is the release of microplastics. According to a 2017 study by Darina Szymanski, Christoph Goldbeck, Hans-Ulrich Humpf, and Peter Furst in the Water Research Journal, microplastics are microscopic pieces of plastic that break off from larger pieces of plastic, and they can easily diffuse into water. Once released, microplastics can contaminate fresh water with pollutants and chemicals. The main danger with microplastics is once they are in water, they cannot be removed. Also, it is important to note that plastic bottles pose a serious threat to wildlife. In a 2009 article written by Richard Thompson, Charles Moore, Frederick von Saul, and Shauna Swan for the Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society, pieces of plastic were found in the bodies of seabirds and fish that mistook the plastic for food. Once the plastic was in their systems, it caused the animals to choke, obtain stomach ulcers, and for some eventually die. Now that you are familiar with the main problems surrounding plastic bottles, we will now move on to some of the causes of the problem. My second main point explores the causes behind plastic bottle pollution. There are two main causes to this problem that deal with the life of plastic. They are the use of petroleum in the creation of plastic bottles and the long process of plastic decomposition. All plastic materials, as you may or may not know, derive from petroleum. According to a 2003 article written by Kit Fairplun, Ipke Hui, Winston Lewis, and Henry Lau for the Journal of Cleaner Production, Plastic is created by heating petroleum and reacting chemicals with petroleum. Just like any other time petroleum is burned, particulate matter and carbon dioxide are released into the atmosphere. Once in the air, carbon dioxide eventually leads to global climate change and global warming. Therefore, the use of petroleum in plastic bottles and the consequences of using petroleum illustrate how plastic bottles negatively impact the environment even before they are created. After plastic bottles are produced, their lives still create harm for the environment. Plastic as a material is very easy to make, but it takes centuries to decompose. For example, in a 2013 study by Hayden Webb, James Arnott, Russell Crawford, and Elena Ivanova for the Polymers Journal, plastic bottles made from polyethylene terephthalate, or PET, can take 450 years or more to decompose out in the elements. Out in the ocean, it can take even longer. In the study, the authors explained the plastic is broken down through a process called the photodegradative effect. This process is hindered by seawater due to the lower temperatures, so plastic decomposition is slowed down dramatically. Also, plastic bottles often contain chemicals such as bisphenol A or BPA that seep out into the surrounding environment, causing even more pollution. Since you all know about the problem of plastic bottles and the causes behind why plastic bottles are detrimental to the environment, I will now discuss what can be done to alleviate this issue. My third and last main point is some solutions that we can use to combat the environmental issue with plastic bottles. Along with banning the production of plastic bottles, there are two promising steps that we can take right now to solve this issue. The first and most obvious choice is to switch to reusable bottles. This can be metal bottles, glass bottles, you name it. In a 2018 case study conducted by Tiara and Elena Yakanai for the Sustainability Journal, reusable bottles can save a person up to or more than 1,000 bottles each year. In addition to that, every person that switches to reusable bottles can save money that would have been spent on plastic bottles. Another strong option is to increase recycling efforts of plastic bottles. Plastics are very durable, so investing in recycling them has a lot of benefits. As explained in a 2009 article written by Jefferson Hopewell, Robert Dvorak, and Edward Kosier for the Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society, recycling plastic bottles can help reduce carbon emissions, the need for oil, and the volume of plastic in landfills. For the recycling industry, plastic is lightweight, so it is easier and more cost-effective to transport. Not to mention, recycling plastic bottles and reducing overall plastic consumption would resolve all, if not most, of the problems associated with plastic bottle pollution in the environment. In summary, today I discussed why single-use plastic bottles should be banned in America. There were three main ideas that I talked about in the body of my speech. First, I discussed the environmental problem created by single-use plastic bottles. Second, I discussed some of the causes behind this problem. And finally, I examined some of the possible solutions to resolve plastic bottle pollution. To be honest, plastic bottles are not going to go away anytime soon. The plastic bottle industry is booming now more than ever, and it is true that single-use plastic bottles are simply more convenient. However, with the information that you all gained today on why plastic bottles are harmful to the environment and how easy it is to stop using them, it is clear that plastic bottles no longer need to be in our daily lives. Now, it is your turn. I want you all to truly examine how you contribute to plastic bottle pollution and how you can help to resolve this issue. Thank you.